Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Well, last time we got into Thomas Malloy's apartment and then got knocked out for our trouble. So now to search the room for loot, swag, and clues.
An old rusty hot plate. The luxury of hotel living. A few plastic plates and cheap silverware. Malloy must have taken the good china with him.
And hello, something in the trash can.
Nice wastebasket.
But we can't take that.
That drafting table must be 70 years old.
There's something.
Nothing to find. Look at all those drawers. Yeah, it's an old... Nothing to find here.
Yes, thankfully it will tell you if there's something in the drawer when you look at the general description if you're too far away to see exactly what it is.
I shudder to think about all the butts that have sat in that cushion through the ages. Damn, no spare change under here.
That's an odd noise for a couch cushion to make.
The label on the box says it was shipped from... Airport of the Gods. My Uncle Marty owned a whole series of these books. Go-Karts of the Gods, Lunch of the Gods.
Food of the Gods.
These boxes are empty. These boxes are empty. Wonder what they're doing here.
Giving us one more thing to waste time looking at.
These boxes are empty.
Yep.
This looks like a...
Let's see, we got a letter of some type.
No play, bub. I never look at these personally, but I do remember this one. It was the Amazon Woman edition featuring 37 pages of full-color pictures. Nice. Man, what's this? Looks like a scarf.
Alright, well we've got a fair bit of stuff to look at here.
Ooh, this scarf reeks of cheap perfume. I guess Malloy must have had a lady friend in for a visit. And if the lady friend wore this scarf anywhere else in the neighborhood, she'd be pretty hard to forget. Maybe I should show this thing around and see what I can find out. I wonder who this David Wright is. And more importantly, if Malloy's been to his cabin in Oregon.
Let's see. Dear Thomas, I was delighted to receive your letter after all these years. It sounds as though your work is progressing well. I look forward to having a few of our all-night sessions just like in the old days. You're certainly welcome to stay at my cabin as long as you'd like. It's extremely secluded, a perfect place to get away from prying eyes. I can't meet you for at least a week, but I'll get there when I can. In the meantime, there's a key to the door in the brick by the front steps. I've come across an item I think you'll find quite interesting. I look forward to working out an exchange of information. The cabin is located exactly 8.4 miles south-southwest from a small town, Oregon, called Salmonberry. You'll probably need to find a good map. It'll be good to see you again. Sincerely, David Wright. Let's see. Receipt from pawn shop.
Looks like Rook did some business with Mr. Malloy. I wonder if Rook could let me redeem this receipt. Who am I kidding? He'll do anything if the price is right.
Okay, Airport of the Gods.
I loved this book when I was a kid. Aliens, spaceships, mysterious structures. Then I grew up and realized it was all a load of crap.
Or was it?
Looks like Malloy made a special llama pal back in his younger days.
Let's see, Regan, age 3.
Whoever wrote this has worse penmanship than I do. Either that or it's written in some weird language. This warehouse is just down the street from the Ritz.
Yeah, we were there and under a killing moon, in fact. The Acme storage warehouse, which was also the Snow White dry cleaner at some point.
Whoever wrote this has worse penmanship.
Okay, well that takes us through all of our inventory.
Oh man, Chelsea's gonna kill me. I didn't realize how long I was out. God, almost 16 hours. I was out cold straight through our dinner date. She's never gonna believe me.
And we'll take a quick trip back upstairs to our apartment because there were a few things that I forgot when I went through here last time. One of them being that there's an article here in the computer room that
I
we
got
need to
this
check
article
out.
about Mac Malden out of the newspaper. Gives me a good chuckle.
At the very least, it's worth a few points to
I
look
got this
at.
thing out of the paper a few days ago. I've known Mac Malden for years. We've worked together on several cases, but I don't know if we're actually friends. We just help each other out occasionally.
So yes, we do get 2 points for looking at that. But more importantly, that opens up the pathway for us to go seek Mac out for advice later. I keep thinking that's the way to Texas office for some reason.
These drawers are the holding it. Took me 3 days of hard work to empty this drawer out. Another bill from the electronics shop. I can't believe they expect me to pay for the junk they sell.
Yep, final notice. This notice informs you this account is delinquent, must be paid immediately. If payment is not received within 3 hours of this notice, it may be sent to the Body Parts Collection Agency for immediate action. $1,230. Which we actually can pay now, but since this is we are playing the villainous path, we are not going to pay off any debts that we owe until we absolutely positively have to under duress. Okay, so we are now free to roam the streets of Chandler Avenue.
Oh, Chelsea's not at the newsstand. That's strange. I wonder if she's at her apartment.
And things have changed a little bit since under Killing Moon.
Looks like the cops put one of their computerized locks on the door. Rusty the Clown used to own this place, then he mysteriously disappeared. In my last case, I found his body hidden in the back. Cops came in a few weeks ago and carried out Rusty's remains and locked everything up.
And we will not be able to go into the Golden Gate Hotel and bother Ardo anymore.
This place has been locked up for months. The Golden Gate Hotel was shut down a couple of months ago. Turns out it's a big fire trap. I hear the owners are planning on gutting it and then fixing it up.
And for those of you who remember playing Under Killing Moon, you might notice, wasn't the mailbox down there? Well, it was, but now the mailbox is right there.
This mailbox used to be located by the Slice of Heaven. Federal discrimination laws require that it be moved to a new location on the first of every month.
I don't know why. And what's this in front of the mailbox?
I guess this letter didn't quite make it into the mailbox.
Let's see, orphanage letter.
Uh-oh. Moral dilemma. To mail or not to mail? That is the question.
Of course, because we are evil and bad this time around, we are going to keep the money. Yeah, it's a bit cartoonishly evil.
The only thing in this neighborhood that's tackier than that marquee is Clint's toupee.
Still evil, though.
The only thing in this
Well, I was trying to look at the building itself.
Someone bought the old Bijou Theater and turned it into the Fuchsia Flamingo. I'm I'm not sure if that's an improvement. Some unlucky soul lost his wallet. So, my landlord dropped his wallet, and it's full of cash. Of course, I could return it.
But because we are evil, we will not. Okay, well that's enough petty villainy on the street. I think now it is time for us to go annoy Rook.
Rook's been running his pawn shop since sometime before the Eisenhower administration. He's a crusty, mean-spirited little troll who's rumored to have a heart of gold. Yeah, sure. He lets me buy things on credit occasionally, but then he nags me ruthlessly until I pay up. We get along all right, as long as I keep my bills settled.
Up already, Murphy? And it isn't even lunchtime yet. Or am I still asleep? Having a horrible nightmare.
Tell Rook your personal nightmare.
You know what my nightmare is, Rook? I don't know, maybe you can relate to this one. It's waking up 30 years older, a foot and a half shorter, and dog ugly.
Very funny. At least I've never had a problem getting a woman to go out with me. Speaking of which, how's Chelsea?
Let's see, draw the line, express gender-related confusion, rub Rook's nose in it. Oh, you know what we're gonna do.
Well, for your information, I'm planning on having a romantic dinner with Miss Bando. What do you think about that?
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know how she could even think about food with you sitting next to her at the same table.
Offer a bet, express reckless optimism, threaten with a high society snub. Let's go with bet.
Says you little squinty-eyed weasel. Care to make a little wager on whether or not Chelsea will go out with me?
Why should I make a bet with you? Well, even if I won, you'd never pay me off. Speaking of which, where's the money you owe me?
Ask for an extension, taunt the miser, hesitant about repayment. Oh, you know what we're gonna do.
I got a pretty good feeling I'm gonna make some decent cash off this case I'm working on. You can keep your pants on for a while longer and answer a few questions for me. I'll pay you back with interest.
No deal, Murphy. First, you pay. Then we talk.
Okay, pay the 300, ask for understanding, show no mercy. No mercy!
Nah, think I'll let you sweat for a little while. See you later, Rook.
And we will add insult to injury and exit out to the back alley. So now that's a new bulletin board. Hey kids, don't let Llama Claus down. Start smoking his cigs before he hits town. Surgeon General warning, when you smoke, you suck.
A billboard for llama cigarettes featuring Llama Claus. Can't believe how much money these big corporations waste on stupid advertising. Man, I could sure use a smoke.
This is, of course, a reference to the old Joe Camel bulletin boards, which were eventually ruled were aimed at children, and so they had to get rid of them. I want my 3D TV. Okay, well, we've got... And we don't even need to move the boards anymore, we just squeeze right through. And you'll note we've had slight change to Chandler Avenue since the last game. Got this big fence blocking us off everywhere, apart from the radioactive waste piles from before.
Oh sure, New San Francisco's got lots of pretty lights, but it just doesn't have the character of the old town.
And speaking of which, a quick little note about why the Slice of Heaven Pizzeria isn't there anymore.
The Slice of Heaven's been vacant for months. During one of my previous cases, I did a job for the former owner, Francesca Lucido. Helped her get a divorce from her dirtbag husband, and she took him to the cleaners. Last I heard, she was dating some young stud named Julio and renting a condo in Miami Beach.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and talk to Louie and This is going to be one of the harder bits because Tex being mean to Louis, it's kind of difficult to watch if you've played the original version and you know Louis is, genuinely good guy, has helped Tex out a bit, and we're going to have to be total bastard to him too. Now let's get this over with.
The Brew and Stew, Louis' diner, is more of a home to me than my place at the Ritz. Louis is probably my best friend if I have one. He's always making sure I get enough to eat, and he runs me tabs for months at a time. My current debt is up to $200. But with the smell of fresh coffee and Louis' special home cooking, the Brew and Stew always has the welcome sign turned on.
Life! I noticed you talking to that older gentleman last night. I bet Rook $20 that he hired you to do some work for him.
Tell Louis 1, play down the case, happy you have cash in your pocket. Play it down.
Yeah. The old guy hired me to feed his fish while he was on vacation. I start tomorrow. I'm pretty excited.
You know, speaking of fish, you hungry? The special today is clownfish.
Don't eat it, won't eat it, can't eat it.
I haven't had clownfish since my Uncle Herb nearly died eating it. He choked on the funny bone.
You sure? Comes with a side of popcorn and a candy apple.
No thanks, come up with an excuse, Pearl drops humor.
That's really tempting, but I'm going to have to pass. I didn't come down here to eat, I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Okay, let's start handing over random stuff from the inventory.
No thanks.
Yeah, offer him the wallet. Let's see if he...
No thanks.
Oh, come on. Just for the heck of it.
No thanks.
Okay, untranslated letter.
Well, Mike, if I had to guess, I'd say it's written in Yucatec. It's a Mayan language spoken in southern Mexico. I can't help you with the translation, though. You know who might be able to help you is Clint. I heard he's quite a world traveler.
Twabla?
Might give it a try.
Okay, try the scarf.
Oh, yeah. I remember this scarf. And the perfume on it. Young, blonde gal. Came in here a while ago. No thanks. No thanks.
And we didn't get a chance to ask him about this yet.
This is the guy that was with that young blonde girl who was wearing the nice-smelling scarf.
All right.
That's the guy in the photo, right? I only saw him the one time. She was real pretty, though a little heavy on the makeup. I think she said her name was Emily. That's the new club up the street. Seems real nice. I gotta get up there sometime.
All right, we'll try Lucy Love.
I guess that's the name of the girl who sings up at the Fuchsia Flamingo. I haven't seen her in action. The cops came in and closed that place down a couple weeks ago. Turns out they found Rusty's body in there. Someone dumped him in a barrel of acid. Created a lot of conversation in here, I'll tell you. I saw Malden a couple weeks ago when the cops came by to clean out Rusty's place. He hasn't changed much, except around the waistline. I don't know who she is. I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name. I don't like to talk bad about people, so I got nothing to say about Nilo. Rook's just an ordinary son of a gun, but believe it or not, he's pretty soft underneath. What are you asking about me for? I ain't nothing special. Chelsea's the sweetest girl I've ever met. There's nothing I'd like more than to see you two together.
Well, not in this playthrough.
You're okay in my book, Mike, no matter what anyone else says.
Alright, well, enough of that. Let's go deal with the electronic shop.
The electronic shop opened last year, and I got to know the previous owner, Ham Underwood. I got an electronic shop credit card under somewhat shady circumstances, and I ran up a good-sized bill during my last case. I hear there's a new owner now, some guy named Zach Williams.
Hold it right there. Get your hands up where I can see them. All right, now, take out your electronic shop credit card. Ah. Nice and easy. So you're Murphy. I just got your photo from the credit department. We were wondering when you'd show up here again. I got orders about you. Straight from corporate headquarters. Sorry I gotta do this, but now then, what can I do for you?
Alright. Now, it's pretty easy to antagonize him, but there's a certain rhythm to go through here.
Well, I was here to do more shopping, but darn it, I'm not sure whether my credit card still works.
It doesn't. The problem is you bought some things on credit about 4 months ago and haven't sent us a dime.
Alright, well, let's see. Use the charitable pun to break the ice. Comment on the selection of wares. Try and cut a deal. Let's add insult to injury on this.
Listen, your merchandise is so worthless, you ought to pay me for taking the stuff off your hands.
Your account is over 120 days delinquent, and you owe us $1,230.
Say what?
That amount includes one fax machine, $399, one laser blade, $29, a film developing kit, $179.
For that piece of crap?
You bought it. And $623 in interest.
And 53
What?
cents.
$623 in interest.
And 53 cents. Alright, ask for the former owner.
So where's Ham Underwood? He and I are old buddies. Look, I think I can make a deal with him.
Ham Underwood doesn't work here anymore. In fact, I don't think he works anywhere anymore. I heard he opened his mouth just a little too wide and someone big shut it up for him. Permanently. Now pay me the $1,230 you owe me or get out.
Alright. Intimidation.
Listen, I suggest you take the interest charges off my bill, or you're going to get a visit from the Better Business Bureau.
It doesn't matter who you talk to. If you don't pay the $1,230, you can't buy anything in here anyway. Come back when you're ready to settle your account.
Might as well take a quick look around the place, because we will need to buy stuff here eventually.
Photo analyzer. Most of the photos I've seen don't require much psychiatric help. Well, they sure got a great selection of gadgets, gizmos, and thingies.
They've even got who's-its and what's-its
There's
galores.
utility. A radio that doubles as a boat propeller.
You want thingamabobs? They've got 20.
These joysticks never seem to provide the satisfaction they promise. That sucker reminds me of the bill collector that dropped by my office a month ago. Those headphones sound terrible with my Victrola. Those headphones sound terrible. Tissot watches. Last one I had broke down. A relief globe of the moon. That might come in handy if I ever have to relieve myself on the moon. Memo pad. Jeez. Are they still trying to sell these things? Ah, the Moonchild Toy Space Station. Needless to say, it hasn't been a big seller over the last year.
'Cause we done blowed it up.
It was great buying merchandise from this box, until my credit was shot.
Literally. Badumch.
The Robco Combuster. Now that's interesting. Memo pad. Jeez. Are they still trying to sell these things? They haven't sold a single visor since I started shopping here.
Okay, well, I think that's enough for the moment. And some items won't appear until we need them later.
This guy must be the new store manager.
Ah, Mr. Murphy. Have you decided to pay off your bill?
Try for financing, refuse.
All right. Here's your money. Now when do I get my new credit card?
You don't. From now on, it's cash only. If you see something you like, ask me about it, and I'll give you a price.
Alright, well, we don't need to get anything here at the moment. So we'll go back to hitting the street and looking for clues, but let's go bug Rook some more.
All right, Murphy. Get out your wallet or get out of my shop.
Alright. And since we are still flush with cash from our recent recoveries from the street...
I need to redeem this receipt.
You didn't pawn this.
Well, how much is it? Look, I'm willing to pay extra.
$200. Yep, plus $50 for it not being your receipt.
Don't have enough? Refuse. Just to be a dick.
Not a chance, Rook. I'd be aiding and abetting a robbery.
Suit yourself.
Okay, we will try it again.
I need to... Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
Well, it will, but not for a while yet.
So this is the item Malloy pawned. I'm no expert, but this thing looks pretty ancient. Wonder where it came from.
Okay, back to the street. And let's see if we can go to Chelsea's apartment yet.
I fly my speeder to the Four Gables apartment building where Chelsea lives. Luckily, or maybe not, she doesn't answer the door. For the time being, I can save my groveling apology for later and go back to working on my case.
Alright, well, back to the street.
Oh, the Coco Cabana. I heard that Clint, the local chocolate junkie, opened some kind of business up at Coit Tower.
Yep, Clint the Bum from Under a Killing Moon has gone up in the world.
The Coco Cabana was just opened by a reformed bum named Clint. I met him during my last case when he was living in a dumpster in an alley behind Rook's pawn shop.
Yeah.
Okay, bring up Clint's past misfortunes, compliment the rug, give Clint some business. We are, of course, going to open with an insult.
You know, Clint, when I see you in the midst of this magnificent setting, it's hard to believe that you were living in a dumpster a couple of months ago.
Yeah, what's the matter? You're jealous because I'm a successful businessman and you're still a cut-rate PI. Don't like seeing someone like me pass you on the social ladder, do you?
Okay, disregard, curious, suspicious. Let's go with suspicious.
Yeah, whatever. But I just find it just a little suspicious when a destitute transient opens a place like this.
For your information, I got a Cub grant from the Agency for Curbing Urban Blight. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a business to run. So, either order something or take a hike.
Alright, let's go with a little-known scientific fact.
You know, I heard that eating excessive amounts of chocolates can result in hallucinations.
Yeah, and at the moment, I'm having a vision of a PI being bludgeoned to death with a blender.
Let's see, pacify, sympathize, ignore the threat. Let's keep going.
Oh, hey, if you got a blender, why don't you whip me up a chocolate shake? Of course, make it extra thick, like your skull.
Forget it. I had to eat all the chocolate ice cream. The freezer broke.
Oh, that's what that smudge on his face is. Let's see, accuse Clint of skimming. Yeah.
I'll bet you're out of everything anyway, Mr. Cocoa Junkie.
As a matter of fact, I am. So why don't you come back sometime next year?
Cash in an old favor, cool things down, empathize pathetically. We are, of course, going to hold this over his head.
Look, buddy, you owe me. Remember last December? Who eased your pain when you ran out of chocolate syrup? Who's the one who found you the piece of Louie's award-winning chocolate pie? Who? Me, that's who.
Fine. You do me one favor, and you expect me to kiss up for the rest of my life? All right, what do you want?
All right.
Louie told me that you might be able to help me out.
Ah, how's that?
Boy,
This
he
is
suddenly
quite
became
a
a lot
little
more
trouble.
friendly.
Tell me what you make of this.
Let's see. Ah, yeah, here it is. The cheese
Yeah?
factory is on fire. Hell, I can't read any of that crap. Jesus, I tell Louie I went to Tijuana a couple times and now what? Suddenly I'm Marco Polo?
Okay, well, maybe he could be helpful with the scarf.
I've seen this scarf before. A girl came by here wearing it.
All right.
Emily? Yeah, you must be talking about the girl who sings at the Flamingo. She's come by here a couple times with a gigantic guy named Gus Leach. Yeah, I remember Emily mentioned someone named Thomas, but I didn't catch the last name. He runs the Fuchsia Flamingo, and he might be Emily's boyfriend. They come by every once in a while and order the bliss on a biscuit. Actually, now that you mention it, the last time those two were here, Leach dropped a key under his seat, and I didn't find it until after they left. I've been meaning to run it down to the Flamingo, but if you're gonna go that way, drop it off for me.
I will totally give you this key, jerk who I can't stand.
Can't say I've heard of it. Totally unfamiliar to me.
Louie told me.
Oh, yeah, I don't get that.
Did you know that there's some kind of secret door that comes out of Rusty's funhouse over by the warehouse? I saw the cops open it when they were there last week. Oh, I wish I could help you. That's Emily's stage name. Totally unfamiliar to me. The Flamingo seems like a decent club, but there's no chocolate on the menu, so, why bother? Nilo? An open sore on the face of humanity. At one point, I had to choose between living at the Ritz and living in the dumpster. I took the lesser evil. He's that new guy running the electronics shop. That blood-sucking tightwad, he wanted me to pay rent for living in the dumpster outside of his pawn shop.
I don't know who to side with on that one.
That guy's a real gem. Hell of a cook. Chelsea's a nice girl. But whatever happened between us was over long ago. Don't let the torch she still carries for me stand in your way. All right, you brought me a chocolate pie when I was on the skids. I'm indebted to you for the rest of my life. You're a god. Happy?
Not really, no.
So Emily works at the Flamingo with someone named Gus Leach. Now that I got the key, maybe I should go ahead and pay him a little visit.
Deliveries to the Fuchsia Flamingo through gate and back door between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. Which is an odd point because, according to the material for the last game, they switched around the time scale so that, you know, sunset was sunrise and vice versa, and everybody was supposed to be doing their business at night when there was less radiation. But oh well.
Looks like a metal rod. Maybe an antenna.
Maybe so. And we'll just go ahead and grab that now
No
for the heck
shortage
of
of
it.
trash receptacles in this part of town.
You never know, we might need a rod for
This
extending
antenna isn't
things.
busted. I might be able to extend it. There we go.
You always need a 10-foot pole in games like this.
It's all locked up.
Didn't mean to wake you, Emily. I'm sorry. How did you get in here?
Let's see. Exude text and charm, curious and rude, hand over the key. Rude is the way to go.
I walked in through the door. I just wanted to see where all the rats and cockroaches were headed.
Well, now that your curiosity's satisfied, why don't you shove off? This is a private club. Members only.
Incredulous and rude.
So, let me get this straight. You actually charge to get into a dump like this?
Dump? The price for your membership just went up. It's $1 more than whatever you've got.
Threaten with violence. Stupid as it is with a big guy like this.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a complimentary membership so that I won't beat the hell out of you?
What is it with you little guys? Why would someone like you try to pick a fight with someone like me? Hmm? What's that smell?
I'm not sure.
Let him in on your new aftershave. Show some manners. Show the scarf. Oh, anything to drag this out.
Do you like it? It's called Party Hard by Fabergé.
Don't screw around with me. Where's that smell coming from?
Show the scarf. Show some manners. Hand over the scarf.
I'm not sure. But my best guess is this is what you're smelling. Oh, it's not mine. Really.
Where'd you get this?
Tell it straight. Hairdresser humor. Department store bluff. Oh, why not?
I wore it home from the salon. I just got my hair done and didn't want to muss up my new coif.
Well, in that case, you probably got plenty of these at home. I'll just hold on to this one. Now, why don't you just run along before I call the cops?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think Mr. Leach and I hit it off pretty darn well. At least he told me what I wanted to know. Emily lives at the Flamingo. Now I'll just have to find another way into the club, get past that big mutant. Maybe Chelsea could help. Seems to me she mentioned having a membership to the club. If she's home, I'll apologize and see if she'll go out for a drink with me. Maybe at the Fuchsia Flamingo.
And that blatant hint is where we will start next time. We'll see you then.